Hello students, in our last video we are discuss ITR 2 part A, then schedule S, schedule HP, schedule CG, then schedule OS, other source of income. Then we studied a set of current year losses, then carry forward of losses. Okay, now we are going to discuss the schedule number 6. The schedule number 6 is deduction under chapter 6A. Okay, so we already discussed the deduction under chapter 6A applicable for individuals. Okay, under section 80C to 80U. So here in schedule number 6 there is a part B, that is deduction in respect of certain payments and deduction in respect of certain incomes. Okay, so deduction is bifurcated into segments or into parts, that is deduction in respect of payments and deduction in respect of income. Okay, so we already discussed the deduction under section 80C to 80U in our earlier lecture, that is chapter number 2 paper second, that is deduction under section 80C to 80U applicable for individuals. So here again we revise the deduction which is applicable for individual when or during the filing income tax return too. So here part B, deduction in respect of certain payments include deduction under section 80C. So 80C is relating to the contribution. It means the SEC has contributed their income in section 80C. It means he contribute their income in LIC, he contribute their income in provident fund. Okay, and that contribution is benefited to the government, so he contributed to any government policies, then it is allowed to deduct income from gross total income under section 80C, but the maximum limit is given under section 80C, that is amounted to rupees 1,25,000. Okay, so SEC will not get a more than 1,25,000 as a deduction under section 80C. So we already discussed the 80C, then 80CCD, ACCCD, then 80DD, it means a medical or mediclaim for handicapped person. Okay, so allowable deduction is, we already discussed, that is allowable deduction is rupees 75,000 if the disability between 40 to 60%. Deduction 1,25,000 if the disability is severe, that is above 180%. Okay, then ATE in respect of interest on higher education loan. Okay, so interest, so higher education loan is taken by the SSE for his children, then the interest on higher education loan is allowed for deduction under section 80E. Then 80EEA, 80G is relating to the donation. Okay, donation is given to charitable organization. Okay, then it is allow for deduction 50%. Okay, so we already studied the deduction under section 80G, 80GGA. Okay, then next one is 80C, 80CCD, 80D, 80DDB, 80EE, 80EEB, 80GG, 80GGC. So these are the deduction in respect of payments. Okay, it means the SSC will contribute certain income or their income in this section, then the SSC will get a deduction under the respective sections. Okay, then part C, deduction in respect of certain incomes under other deductions, that is 80QQB. So 80QQB, we already discussed the 80QQB. 80QQB is the royalty. Okay, royalty income. Okay, so royalty income for uh, author. Okay, so ATQQB is the relating to the income earned by author as a royalty. So the deduction is get under ATQQB, and these are the deduction in respect of income. So here deduction is 100% of such royalty or rupees 3 lakh, whichever is lower is allowed for deductible. We already studied. Then ATTTA, and ATTTA is relating to the interest on saving bank account for normal person. Normal means age below 60 years. Amounted rupees 10,000 interest is allowed for deduction. And ATTTB is relating to the interest on saving bank account, but it is for senior citizen age above 60 years, then 50,000 is allowed for the deduction. Then ATU is relating to the totally blind and handicapped person. Okay, 75,000 or rupees 1,25,000. So here 75,000 in respect of disability between 40 to 80%. Okay, and 1,25,000 in respect of disability severe, that is above 80%. Okay, so here the deduction is given. Then we make a total, that is total deduction under chapter 6A in fifth column here. Then schedule number ATG. So ATG in respect of donation. Okay, so 100% donation and 50% donation is allowed for deduction in a respect of. So we already provide you a list of donation, that is 50% of donation allow for deduction and 100% donation is allowed for deduction. So the SSC will have to furnish their information relating to the donation in this column. Donation entitled for 100% deduction without qualifying limit. Okay, so there is no any qualifying limit if the 100% donation is allowed for deduction. If the donation is given to Prime Minister Earthquake Fund, Prime Minister Tsunami Fund, or donation for Tsunami Fund, National Fund for Communal Harmony, University of National Eminences. Okay, then National Blood Transfusion Control or Council. Okay, then Prime Minister National Relief Fund. So 100% deduction is allowed for deduction, and then SEC will furnish their information in this column. Okay, name and address of donee, then PAN card number of donee, it means SEC, amount of donation, eligible amount for deduction. So here we have to provide a list. If the SEC has give a donation to the more than one institution, then he will furnish this information in this column. Okay, it means the SSC will pay a donation or give a donation to donation for tsunami fund, then 100% donation is allowed. Then donee has provide all necessary information in this column. Then B part is 50% deduction is allowed under section ATG. So 50% in case of the donation is given to Birla Mandir, the donation is given to Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, the donation is given to Nehru Memorial Fund, the donation is given to National Children's Fund. Okay, the donation is given to Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust. Okay, so the donation is given to charitable trust, donation is given to orphanage, are allowed to deduct a 50% donation from gross total income. So here we furnish a information if the donation is given to temple, orphanage, then Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, then we get a 50% amount as a deduction. Then donation entitled to 100% subject to qualifying limit. So here the donation limit 50%. So here we provide a information relating to the ATG if applicable to the SEC. If not applicable, then we did not consider the we ignore this information of filing. Then schedule AMT, it means alternative minimum tax payable under section 115 JC. We already studied while computing the income from or taxation of companies. Okay, we already studied the MAT provision in computation of taxation or computation of total taxable income of the company. So here we have to fill the information relating to the MAT provision. Okay, then next one is schedule AMTC, that is tax credit under section 115JD, includes tax under section 115JC in assessment year 2020-21, then tax under other provision of the act in assessment year 2020-21, amount tax against which credit is available under section 2(1) if 2 is greater than 1, otherwise enter 0. It means 2 is greater than 1, otherwise nil. Okay, then utilization of AMT alternative MAT or alternative minimum tax credit available here. Sum of AMT credited or credit utilized during the current year is subject to a maximum of amount mentioned in 3 above and cannot exceed the sum of AMT credit brought forward. Okay, so here the assessee will furnish the information of previous year in respective columns. Then schedule SPI. Okay, then schedule SPI means a specified person included in income of the assessee as per section 64. So here the assessee will furnish all information relating to the persons included in the income of the assessee. So person means those person. So person means the assessee's spouse, assessee's wife. Okay, spouse means assessee's wife or husband, then minor children, then parents, okay, etc. are included in the income of the assessee. Then the assessee will furnish all the information of the persons included in his income, that is name of person. So column is given here, that is first column is S1, that is serial number 1, name of person, PAN card or Aadhaar card number of person, and it is optional, not mandatory, to provide a PAN card and Aadhaar card number of the persons included in the income of the assessee under section 64. Then relation, okay, then amount and heads of income in which the person is included. Okay, so here name, first column, name, if the assessee's spouse, husband or wife is included in the salary of the assessee, then they will fill the name of the person included in his income. Then Aadhaar card number or PAN card number, it is optional, it is not mandatory. Okay, if the PAN card number of spouse, the PAN card number or Aadhaar card number of spouse is keep with the assessee, then they fill. If not keep with by the assessee, then they ignore this column. Then they will provide or they will fill the relationship between the other person and assessee. It means husband and wife. For example, assessee is the husband, then spouse is wife, so they fill this relation column as husband and wife. Then amount is how much income is included in the income of the assessee. So here the amount is filled by the assessee, and in which head the income of other person is included in the income of the assessee is given here. So here list is given. Okay, more than one person, then assessee will fill all information of the other persons which is included in the income of the assessee. Then schedule SI means income chargeable to tax at special rates. Okay, so the income chargeable to tax at special rate is given here, that is special rate, serial number, section, special rate, percentage, income, tax on income. Okay, so here the information is given, and chart is given. In chart the information is provided that the 111 accumulated balance of recognized provident fund for prior years, then special tax rate is given. Okay, so here need not to read all the column here. Okay, you read this column, then make the total. Then here schedule number EI, that is details of exempted income, income not to be included in total income or not chargeable to the tax. Okay, it means in exempted income. Schedule I is relating to the exempted income from in income tax or from tax. It means tax free income is furnished here, or the tax free incomes information is filled here. Okay, interest income. Okay, then dividend income from domestic company amount not exceeding rupees 10 lakh are exempted under section 10. Then gross agricultural receipt, so agricultural income is also exempted or tax free income. Expenditure incurred on agriculture, so expenditure incurred for agriculture or development of agricultural land. Okay, for the purpose of agriculture or for the purpose of farming, then this expenditure is exempted from the tax. Then unabsorbed agricultural loss of previous 8 assessment year. Net agricultural income, then we get net agricultural income because we make a total and that total is put in column number 3rd. Okay, and then here we put this total. Okay, that is we make this total of 3 column and put the figure here, that is net agricultural income 1 minus 2 1 2 3. Okay, 1 minus 2 minus 3, we get a net agricultural income. Okay, then 5th point is, in case the net agricultural income for the year exceeds rupees 5 lakh, please furnish the following details. If the agricultural income is exceeds rupees 5 lakh, then the assessee will furnish the details of the income separately for each agricultural land. Okay, then name of district along with pin code in which agricultural land is located. So here provide a general information of the land, and the land is located in which city, which district, with a pin code number. Measurement of agricultural land in acres, so here also furnish the land or measurement of land in acres. Okay, then whether the agriculture land is owned or held on lease. If the assessees own land or the assessees take it on lease, the assessee will furnish the necessary information of the land owned or land taken on lease. Whether the agricultural land is irrigated or rain fed, so here the assessee will furnish all necessary information or all required information here, and all applicable information. Those information which is applicable to the assessee are filled by the assessee. Then other exempted income is the 4th point. Okay, other exempted income. Then income not chargeable to tax as per DTAA. Income, total income from DTA not chargeable to tax. Pass through income not chargeable to tax, so fill the amount here. Total, make the total 1 2 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, we get a total exempted income. Then schedule PTI, schedule PTI is relating to through income the income details from business, trust or investment fund as per section. So fill the necessary information or applicable information by the assessee, that is short term capital gain, then section 11A other long term gain. Okay, so here the information is given, that is we already discussed in our earlier lecture in ITR 2, that is OS. OS means other sources income, capital gain income, house properties income. Okay, so if the SEC will provide a necessary information or applicable information or required information in this column. Then schedule FSI. So schedule FSI includes the income from outside India and tax relief available only in case of resident. So in case of resident, the resident SSC has earned a income from outside India, then he will get a tax relief from the income earned from outside India. So here given, that is heads of income is given, income from outside India including in part B, T1. Okay, then next column is, okay, so column number next is tax paid outside India, tax payable on such income, normal provision in India. So this information, if applicable, if required, if applicable to SEC, then we fill. If not applicable, then we ignore this information. So here ITR 2 is relating to the individual and HUF not carrying business and profession or business or profession. In this form, we have to fill a required information or we have to fill a applicable information which is applicable to the SEC. Okay, so only applicable information we have to fill in the ITR 2. Okay, then schedule TR. TR means tax paid outside India. Okay, relief claimed for tax paid outside India. Okay, then FA, details of foreign asset and income from any source outside India. So here the SSC will have to furnish if the assets and income earned from outside India, okay, foreign assets or income from any source outside India, then he fill this form or fill this schedule. Then Then 5A, schedule 5A, information regarding apportionment of income between spouse governed by Portuguese Civil Code. Okay, so here distribution of income between spouse and governed by the Portuguese Civil Code. So here name of spouse, Aadhaar card, PAN card, number of spouse and heads of income. So furnish all necessary information if applicable to the SSC. Not applicable, then ignore. Schedule number AL, assets and liabilities at the end of the year applicable in case where total income exceeds rupees 50 lakh. So this schedule is applicable if the total income of the SSC is more than 50 lakh. Then he will have to furnish the information relating to the assets and liabilities of the end of the financial year. Then details of movable assets, jewelry, bullion, etc. Then archaeological collections, okay, drawings, painting, okay. Then next one is a vehicle, boats and aircrafts, financial assets. So all these necessary or required information and applicable information applicable to SSC, then the SSC will fill this information. If not applicable, if not given in the problem, then we ignore this information. Then schedule DI is details of investment. So details of investment we already discussed in ITR 1. Here the SSC will provide a details of investment, that is income invested in section 80C to 80GGC. 80C means contribution, so income invested or income contributed in section C, 80C, then the SSC will furnish the information, fill the information here. So here column is given, that is investment deposit payments for the purpose of claiming deduction under section under chapter 6A section 80C to 80U. Okay, so here under section 80 or deduction, the deduction is bifurcated in two parts, that is deduction in respect of payment and deduction in respect of income. Okay, so income section includes ATQQB, ATRRB, ATTTA, ATTTB. Okay, we already discussed these sections in our earlier lecture, that is deduction under chapter 6A applicable for individual under section 80C to 80U. So here they provide the information of investment or contribution of the assets. Then here part B. Okay, now part B is start. Okay, that is computation of total income. Okay, so this part B we will discuss in our next lecture. Again we revise the schedules. Okay, so here the part A is end. Okay, part A ITR 2 part A is end. Part A includes all the necessary information, that is general information, then schedule S, schedule HP, schedule CG, schedule OS. Okay, then schedule relating to the carry forward, say top up current year losses, then schedule 5A regarding the income distributed between the SSC and his spouse, okay, or her husband. ओके, बघा मग यामध्ये आपण काय बघितलं तर शेड्यूल पाहिले चॅप्टर 6A नुसार. तर चॅप्टर 6A आपण पाहिलं, त्यानंतर महत्त्वाच्या यामध्ये शेड्यूल्स पाहिले जे की एक्झम्प्टेड इन्कम आहे ते पाहिलं. ओके, आता इथं शेड्यूल बघा, यामध्ये शेड्यूल 6 हे कशाशी रिलेटेड आहे, मॅट प्रोव्हिजन आपण पाहिल्या, डिडक्शन पाहिलं. बघा शेड्यूल 6 हे काय आहे तर शेड्यूल 6A हे डिडक्शन आहे. डिडक्शन कशाचं आहे तर डिडक्शन आपण जे टॉपिक थेरॉटिकल शिकलो, डिडक्शन अंडर चॅप्टर 6A ॲप्लिकेबल टू इंडिव्हिज्युअल अंडर सेक्शन 80C to 80U. So in 80C to 80U includes a two parts, that is deduction in respect of, म्हणजे डिडक्शन हे इन्कमच्या बाबतीत आणि पेमेंटचं डिडक्शन असे दोन यामध्ये पार्ट पडलेले आहेत. त्यामध्ये आपण पेमेंटचे डिडक्शन पाहिले ते 80C म्हणजे काय, पेमेंट म्हणजे काय तर SECने त्याचा इन्कम हा कोणत्या तरी ठिकाणी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट केला असेल आणि दर मंथली त्याच्या इन्कममधून तेवढे पैसे काय होत असतील, जात असतील किंवा तेवढे पैसे त्याला भरावे लागत असतील. लक्षात आलं, त्याला काय म्हटलं जातं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन किंवा पेमेंट इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ डिडक्शन इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ पेमेंट असं म्हटलं जातं. काय म्हटलं जाईल, डिडक्शन इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ पेमेंट. मग यामध्ये सेक्शन्स दिलेले आहेत. ATC आहे, मग ATC काय आहे तर ATC हे कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन आहे. मग कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन कशा कशात तर ज्याचा बेनिफिट, ओके, ज्या SECने पैसे ATC मध्ये कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट केले असतील आणि त्याचा बेनिफिट डायरेक्टली गव्हर्नमेंटला होतो. लक्षात आलं, म्हणजे जर SECने LIC घेतली असेल तर त्याचा बेनिफिट कोणाला होणार, गव्हर्नमेंटला. म्हणजे ज्या ज्या ठिकाणी SEC पैसे इन्व्हेस्ट करेल किंवा पैसे पेड करेल त्याचा डायरेक्टली बेनिफिट जर गव्हर्नमेंटला होत असेल तर त्याचं डिडक्शन ATC प्रमाणे त्यांना मिळणार आहे. त्यानंतर आपण ATE पाहिलं. ATE कशाचं आहे तर इंटरेस्ट ऑन हायर एज्युकेशन लोन, की हायर एज्युकेशनच्या साठी लोन घेतलेलं असेल तर त्याच्यावरचं व्याज हे 8 वर्षांपर्यंत त्यांना काय आहे माफ केलं जातं. ओके, त्याचं डिडक्शन इथं मिळतं. त्याचबरोबर ATG पाहिलं. ATG कशाच्या रिलेटेड आहे तर ATG हे डोनेशनशी रिलेटेड आहे. ओके, ATG ही कशाशी रिलेटेड आहे, डोनेशनशी रिलेटेड आहे. जर डोनेशन, आता त्यामध्ये दोन पार्ट आहेत, 50% डोनेशन आणि 100% डोनेशन अलाव फॉर डिडक्शन, म्हणजे डिडक्शनसाठी मान्य आहे. जर डोनेशन तुम्ही बिर्ला मंदिरला दिलं, एज्युकेशनल इन्स्टिट्यूशनला दिलं किंवा नॅशनल चिल्ड्रन फंडला दिलं तर तुम्हाला 50% डोनेशन डिडक्शनसाठी अलाउड राहील. जर तुम्ही डोनेशन पेड केलं असेल गुजरात अर्थक्वेकला, डोनेशन तुम्ही दिलं असेल सुनामी फंडला, तुम्ही डोनेशन दिलं असेल युनिव्हर्सिटी ऑफ नॅशनल इमिनन्सेसला, तर तुम्हाला 100% डोनेशन काय केलं जाईल, डिडक्शनसाठी अलाउड केलं जाईल. त्यानंतर आपण पाहिलं ते काय पाहिलं तर ATD बघितलं. आता ATD कशाच्या संदर्भात आहे तर मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट और मेडिक्लेम फॉर नॉर्मल पर्सन और मेडिकल इन्शुरन्स प्रीमियम त्याला म्हटलं जातं. मेडिकल इन्शुरन्स प्रीमियम फॉर नॉर्मल पर्सन. मग SSCनं स्वतःसाठी घेतलं असेल, पत्नीसाठी घेतलं असेल तर 25,000 आणि आई वडिलांसाठी घेतले असतील तर 25,000, परंतु त्यांचं एज 60 वर्षाखाली असेल तर दोन्हीला मिळून 50,000 रुपये मॅक्झिमम डिडक्शन मिळेल. जर सिनियर सिटीजन असतील तर 50,000 आणि सुपर सिनियर सिटीजन आई वडील असतील तर त्यांचे 50, मॅक्झिमम 1,00,000 रुपयाचं डिडक्शन मिळेल, हे आपण त्यात पाहिलं होतं. त्यानंतर ATDDB. तर ATDDB कशासाठी आहे तर स्पेसिफाईड डिसीसेस त्याला म्हणतो, मेडिकल एक्सपेंडिचर किंवा मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट त्याला म्हटलं जातं, की जर SSCला किंवा SSCच्या नातेवाईक म्हणजे पॅरेंट्स असतील, पत्नी असेल किंवा मुलं असतील, यांना कुठला स्पेसिफिक डिसीज असेल म्हणजे आजार असेल, कॅन्सर असेल किंवा आणखी कोणते आजार असतील तर त्याचं मिळणारं मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंटचं त्यांना डिडक्शन या सेक्शननुसार मिळेल. ते किती आहे तर डिपेंड ऑन द age of the SSC, that is age of the SSC is below 60 years, then 60,000, age above 80 years 80,000, maximum for both ₹1,00,000. लक्षात आलं. तर काय सांगितलेलं आहे की जर SSCच्या घरातील त्याचे आई वडील असेल किंवा त्याची मुलं असतील यांच्यासाठी मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंटचा खर्च झाला तर किती रुपये डिडक्शनसाठी अलाउड आहेत तर त्या व्यक्तीवरती, जो आजारी पेशंट आहे त्याच्यावरती डिपेंड आहे. मग त्याचं एज इथं लक्षात घेतलं जाईल की 60 वर्षापर्यंतचा असेल तर किती मिळेल, 60,000 रुपये. 80 वर्षापर्यंत किंवा 80 वर्षापेक्षा मोठा असेल, ओके, सिनियर सिटीजन असेल, एज इयर 80 इयर्स और मोर, 80 वर्षापेक्षा मोठा किंवा 80 वर्ष असेल तर किती मिळणार आहे, 80,000. एकूण किती मिळतील, दोन्ही असतील तर 1,00,000 रुपये मॅक्झिमम. त्याच्यानंतर आपण पाहिलं की ATEE किंवा ATGG पाहिलं, ओके. त्यानंतर आपण कशाचं डिडक्शन पाहिलं तर इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ पेमेंट पेमेंटचं बघितलं तर आपण बघतो इन्कमचं. इन्कममध्ये काय काय आहे तर इन्कम मिळाला रॉयल्टीपासून, इन्कम मिळाला रॉयल्टी फॉर ऑथर्स, त्यानंतर रॉयल्टी RRB कशा संदर्भात आहे, रॉयल्टी फ्रॉम पेटेंट्स. ATTB कशाचं आहे तर व्याज मिळत असेल सेव्हिंग बँक अकाउंटवरती तर त्याचं डिडक्शन. ATU कशाचं आहे तर हँडिकॅप पर्सनसाठी दिलं जाणारं डिडक्शन. लक्षात आलं. तर हे AT चॅप्टर 6 आहे. त्यानंतर डोनेशनचं आपण पाहिलं 100%, 50% डिडक्शन. त्यानंतर शेड्यूल AGGA पाहिलं. त्यानंतर शेड्यूल AMT इज रिलेटिंग टू द अल्टरनेट मिनिमम टॅक्स पेएबल अंडर सेक्शन 115JC. ओके. देन शेड्यूल AMTC computation of tax credit under section 115JD. okay, so if applicable to the SSC then we taken into consideration, if not applicable to the SSC then we ignore this section or schedule. okay, so here we fill this information if required, if applicable to the SSC, tax credit under section 115JD. then schedule SPI relating to the income included in the SSC or income included of the SSC's person or SSC's spouse, minor children or parents in any respective heads, then provide or then furnish the information here. Then schedule SI is relating to the income tax chargeable to special rates or chargeable on special rates. So list is given. We did not read this list. Uh, so here list relating to the list relating to the accumulated balance recognized provident fund. So this list is not necessary. If applicable, then we taken into consideration. Not applicable, then we ignore. Okay. Then EI, exempted income. So exempted income we already discussed. Okay, under section 10, that is dividend, interest. Okay. And then the agricultural income. Then agricultural land is taken, or agricultural land is purchased. Then the location of agricultural land, measurement of agricultural land. Okay, so all these things. त्यानंतर आपण पाहिलं ते PTI, त्यामध्ये हेड्स ऑफ इन्कमची जी माहिती द्यायची आहे ती आहे. त्याच्यानंतर FSI आपण पाहिलं. ओके, त्याच्यानंतर शेड्यूल FA फॉरेन ॲसेट्स असतील. FSI म्हणजे काय, फॉरेन इन्कम मिळत असेल, आउटसाईड इन्कम, रेसिडेंट SEC आहे आणि त्याला फॉरेनमधून इन्कम मिळत असेल तर त्याची इन्फॉर्मेशन, फॉरेनमध्ये ॲसेट असेल तर त्याची मिळणारी इन्कम, या सर्व गोष्टी, या सर्व इन्कम इथं त्याची इन्फॉर्मेशन त्याला काय करावी लागेल, फिल करावी लागेल. ओके, त्याच्यानंतर आपण पाहिलं ते शेड्यूल 5A. शेड्यूल 5A हे कशाचे रिलेटेड आहे तर इन्कम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करायचं आहे कुणामध्ये, स्पाऊसमध्ये किंवा स्पाऊसमध्ये आणि ॲसेसीमध्ये, म्हणजे पती आणि पत्नीमध्ये तो इन्कम काय केला जाईल, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट केला जाईल. हे कधी तर ते गव्हर्न बाय द पोर्तुगीज सिव्हिल कोड. कुणी केलेलं आहे गव्हर्न, तर हे पोर्तुगीज सिव्हिल कोडने गव्हर्न केलेलं आहे. जर ॲप्लिकेबल असेल तर आपण भरणार आहे. ओके, त्यानंतर ॲसेट्स अँड लायबिलिटीज, जर इन्कम 50 लाखापेक्षा जास्त असेल तरच त्याला ही इन्फॉर्मेशन भरता येईल, अदरवाईज भरता येणार नाही. त्यानंतर आपण शेड्यूल IT पाहिलं. ओके, शेड्यूल DI कशाशी रिलेटेड आहे तर इन्व्हेस्टमेंटशी रिलेटेड आहे, की SECनं कोणकोणत्या गोष्टीमध्ये इन्व्हेस्टमेंट केली ती सर्व इथं माहिती त्यांना देणं गरजेचं आहे. ओके, त्याच्यानंतर आपण बघणार आहे ते म्हणजे पार्ट B, computation of total income of the SEC under the ITR, second or taxable income of the SEC. Okay, total income. So total income part B is studied in our next video. Okay, so we study the part B in our next video. Here remember this form, we can't solve a practical problem on the ITR2. We only discuss the ITR2 in our this lecture. In our next lecture, or in our next lecture, after discussing the ITR2, we start to discuss the ITR3. Okay, ITR3. Okay, so remember this form. We provide you the PDF file of ITR2, then you can read the form again. Okay, or revise the form again. Okay, so here we stop the lecture. Thank you very much. Okay.